Hello, breadfiesta here, and welcome to my 7th apartment that I've recorded in over the course of this YouTube channel. This is actually my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, something of a celebration, even though in the last couple of years there's not been a whole lot of activity on this channel. I've tried to be a little more experimental with the sort of videos that I do. I feel that maybe the Let's Play format is kind of a little bit barren, but I still enjoy it, and that's why we're here today. I've done a little more, video essay review style, trying to tackle the games in my queue, which I've enjoyed doing those, and I've had some more ideas. I've played some more games, but today, I wanted today to be a day of celebration, because I also did not get to do a celebration for Introverts Day, which was my made-up holiday that I'd celebrated for 8 of the last 10 years. 2 years ago, I did not. I guess a year and 2 weeks ago, I did not post anything, but I did record some videos. Just didn't get a chance to get them edited and published. And then this year, I did not record anything. Didn't even turn on my computer. Just is how it is. 2022 was rough, but 2023 is a different year with an arbitrary start date. So we're going to do what we can. But like I said, there's a lot to celebrate. There is my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. I can actually celebrate getting my driver's license, which is something that I have not had. I had it, I guess, when I started doing my channel. I just didn't have a car, so I just never drove. So that's something new to celebrate. There's a lot to celebrate. So today I'm going to be starting on this, my 10-year anniversary, although that's not what it is for me today, but for you watching it, it might be, unless it's past that date. So today we're going to be starting a new project, and that project is... Okay, I think I figured it out. Here we go. That project is Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. This is a game that I very much enjoy. Why 2015? Why not one of the later versions that's come out? Well, first off, 2015 is the version that I own, so point number one. I really enjoy playing it. I put a fair amount of hours into it. You can see there. I would recommend this game to other players. 2015 was a pretty good year for me. It was the last year that I have traveled internationally. It was honestly one of the last years where I've had like a decently long vacation, which is its own thing. 2015 was a pretty good year creatively. I met, good friends that year. We created a lot of projects together. And then 2016 was not a lot of those things. So let's just, kind of do a dive back into 2015. Coincidentally, 2016 was the year where I really refocused on what my hopes, goals, dreams, and aspirations were for my life. So, yeah. Let's get into Car Mechanic Simulator 2015, and let's be a car mechanic simulator. Here we are in our garage. We are the Car Mechanic Simulator. Now, what you don't really know about being a car mechanic is that it's really all just like Legos. Much like in the game Lego Island, everything just sort of like floats in the air and then pieces together and just pops right into place. You just get dressed in your uniform, which is a sleeveless onesie, and everything just sort of pops into place. You just sort of hit some stuff with a hammer, which is not one of the tools actually they give you in game. So And then once it's all set, you close that hood up real good. Look at that. Listen to that engine hum. I mean, it's a little bit of a loud hum, but you get kind of the upward smirk of a 2007 Me. Yes, so this is Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. It is developed by Red Dot Games, published by Playway SA, and this is a game where you are simulating a car mechanic. That's really it. Simulator games don't really have like a proper endpoint or a goal. It's really just, a sort of endless play. So I came up with a goal that is going to be, I, as the car mechanic simulator, am going to work in this garage as a car mechanic, raise up the funds to be able to purchase and build my own car, which I will then drive. That seems straightforward enough. The game will start us off with a little bit of capital, enough for us to do some of the early jobs in the game. So we're going to have to just continue to do jobs and do what we can to raise money so that we can purchase our own car and fix it up and get all the parts and colors and everything that we want. So I don't know what particular car we're going for just yet. Will it have this engine in it? Maybe. This one's got a lot of belts on it. So it looks like it's pretty powerful. I like the gold. Though the inside of the car is not usually a part that you're looking at, so whatever. Unless you're a car mechanic, which is me. That is what we are right now in this universe. Okay, so we are going to create a new profile here. We're going to be breadfiesta because Pan and Matsuri, which are the names I usually use, are already in use on different profiles. We are going to be playing in expert mode because I played this game, as you saw, for over 50 hours. I know how the game is played. I don't need no tutorial. In expert mode, when we get the jobs that we'll work on, it's not going to give us very much information, so we'll have to infer that using our own skills. There's more experience, so we'll be able to progress through the game faster. And it'll also be a little bit more difficult in the way that it calculates rust, as you can see there, which is how we can really tell whether a part is real grody and needs to be replaced or not. So in normal mode, you would be able to very easily see, because you'd open up the hood of the car and you'd see pristine silver parts, except for one really rusty part that needs to be replaced. So expert mode makes it a little bit harder. The tricky part about expert mode, and we'll see that here, so I'll go ahead and create this profile, and we'll go ahead and get started here because the load screens are a little bit long. You'll also notice that you're not seeing my face anymore. That's because I was trying to record with OBS, which I have used on a couple of other things, but for some reason with this game, probably because my computer is also from 2015, or no, it's from 2016. 2015 was the year with the Sonic R debacle for Introverts Day, where my computer, my old desktop, had a motherboard issue and just, I miss it. I still have the hard drive, I guess, but so this one's having some trouble. So it's looking like 2023 is going to be another one of those big change sort of years. Looking at possibly a gaming laptop. I'd like to get a desktop, but a laptop is just more realistic. So here we are. Oh, we've already got a job. Here is our garage. We can see, we'll just do a quick little tour here. We've got these lifters. This is where we're going to be doing a lot of the work on the cars that come in. We've got some other areas in here. You can see they're not completely done yet. Here's actually going to be the paint shop, so eventually we'll be able to do some body work for people. Over here, we've got a path test, which will help us identify some broken parts a little bit easier. Yes, I hear you. Here we have the I believe it's the dyno area, the performance area. That's a DLC area where we can add more like nitrous and... Look, I just got my driver's license. I don't know all the thing about car. This is parking. We'll need to get this before we can buy our own car because the car can't live in our garage. We are just a car mechanic. We are not a car mechanic owner. So there's not a whole lot of like rich... I hear the phone. I will get to it. There's not a whole lot of business simulation sort of aspects to this job. You know, we don't have to manage the coffee machine or anything. We don't have to manage the profit or revenue of the business. We are just looking at our money, which you can currently see on the heads-up display, which we cannot see the heads-up display. That's one of the tricky things about expert mode is that they don't give you any display whatsoever. And yes, I hear the phone. Just give me a second. I need to take a break. I'm going to look out the window. This is a really nice real bush. Definitely not a Truman Show situation. I like the spider web sort of pattern on the tile there, though. You can't see anything on the heads-up display, and in normal mode, most of the heads-up display is just the controls to the game. So I know them, but I also wrote them down just so that I have them here. But they will be mostly relevant once we get to working on a car, which we'll go ahead and start right now. So that phone that's been ringing, we've got a couple of messages here. We can see we've got a couple of jobs here that we can take, and then a couple over here that are going to require a little more experience. One of them is actually a DeLorean. I did purchase all the DLC for this, and that includes some real cars. Unfortunately, the Royale Bianco is not a real car. I do like this Royale Crown, though. I really like the look of this car. A nice four-door sedan. This is kind of like what I'm looking for in real life. Not super... Well, that's kind of a cool color. But we can't even work on it yet, so that's fine. But we got two jobs that we can work on. The only information we really get when the job is brought to us is kind of the category and then just a description of what's wrong with the car. So the categories we have are the engine. This is the running gear, so steering. These are the brakes. These are some of the... Brakes are kind of the easier jobs. We have the exhaust. We have transmission and bodywork. Transmission is actually some of the richer jobs, I guess. Some of the jobs that'll make us more profit. But we'll go ahead and start just kind of left to right here with the Reno Piccolo. They called first, so it's only fair. I don't like... This car's just too boxy. What I like about the Royal Crown is that it's got a proper, like, trunk. It's not, like, open like the DeLorean. That's weird. But, I don't know. I just like me a car with a proper butt. All right. Let's go ahead and take this job. And while we're waiting for this car to load into our garage, let me just comment on the soundtrack of this video game, which is just very, very nice and very good. I really like the soundtrack of this game. All right, here's this boxcar. I actually used the soundtrack the year I played Cherry Tree Comedy Club for Introvert's Day. I used the soundtrack of this game when I was perusing on Steam to try to find games for that year. I probably should have just played this for Introvert's Day. Maybe next year. Hopefully it doesn't take us a whole year to be able to buy a car in this game. I hear you. All right, we can stop that gimmick here. So, okay. So if we want to get information about this job, we're going to hit the O button. Okay, so the engine is working, but it's choppy. And we can see there's one diseased part in this car. So I don't like to work in the middle of the garage here. I always like to move it to a lifter just in case. So we're just going to go ahead and put it here. All right, these are engine parts, or the issues with the engine, so we're just going to get here into the engine. And we can see here, this is what the car looks like. We are looking for parts. Every part has a 0 to 100% condition, so we're looking for parts that are below 72%. So we're going to try to just, I'm going to try to visually scope this out here and see if I can identify something that looks really grody. this part actually does. So what you can do, you've got 3 modes when you're looking in the car. You've got this current mode that I'm in where there's the green and yellow outlines. This is disassemble mode. This is how you take parts out of the car. You've got assemble mode, which is how you put parts back into the car. And then you've got examine mode, and these are 1, 2, and 3 on the keyboard. And examine mode lets you do sort of a visual inspection. So yeah, I was right. You can see when we look at parts here, you'll get either a red, green, or yellow. So you can see, like, this is actually perfect. This belt is green. That means it's in pristine condition. The yellow means it's in condition, but it's still fine for the job. And then red means needs to be replaced. So we can actually see here. I believe this is the throttle. We can look in the inventory here. Yeah. So we can see here that this throttle is at 8%. Very bad. Oh, I love this song. I'll try not to talk too much over it, but I do need to show off that now that we found the bad part, it does fill in the job order. So now we can go back. We need to order a new throttle. So we need to go over to the computer here. Okay. Now we've gotten at least through one of the choruses. We can see actually, while we're on the computer, you can actually see your current money and experience. So we got 2 experience from taking the throttle out. So we're not going to get a whole lot of experience from this job, but you can see we start with $2,000. That's where the dollar sign usually goes. And so we'll go ahead and buy this throttle here. And we'll just run it back over here. We don't have to wait for it to be delivered. It just is immediately in our inventory. So we can see, and you can look at how shiny that throttle is. That's a good looking part in that car. And we're not going to replace anything else because this is not a charity. But what we are going to do is we're going to go into our inventory with I, and we could hang on to this throttle because eventually we'll gain the ability to kind of attempt to fix some of the parts. But I'm not going to. This is only going to sell for $7. It's just in really bad shape. But yeah, now we can close the hood. We can go to our job summary, and we can see we spent $120, and we get, because we completed all the job and tasks, we get basically 100% profit on the job. So we're going to go ahead and finish and send the car back home. And that's it. That's the whole game.